Imagine you're standing at the edge of a mountain, looking at the peak in the distance. That peak represents your dreams, your goals, and the person you aspire to be. But between you and that summit is a steep, challenging climb. That climb is discipline. Discipline is not a punishment, it's a gift. It's the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's not about being rigid or losing your freedom. It's about choosing your freedom. Freedom from discipline is the bridge to freedom. Freedom is often misunderstood. Most people associate it with doing whatever they want, whenever they want. But true freedom doesn't come from indulging every whim or avoiding responsibilities. It comes from discipline, the ability to master yourself and align your actions with your goals and values. Discipline is the foundation of a life lived on your terms, not dictated by impulses or external circumstances. Think about the moments in life when you felt truly free. Perhaps it was achieving a milestone like finishing a project, hitting a fitness goal, or reaching financial stability. That freedom didn't come from luck or random effort, it came from consistency, focus, and sacrifice. Discipline is the mechanism that turns dreams into reality. Without it, aspirations remain fantasies, floating in the distance, unattainable. Discipline is a choice you make every single day. It's choosing the future you want over the distractions of the present. It's waking up early to pursue a goal when it would be easier to stay in bed. It's saying no to temporary pleasures so you can say yes to lasting fulfillment. This is the paradox of discipline. What feels restrictive in the moment is actually the key to unlocking your greatest freedom. Imagine a river flowing freely within its banks. The water moves purposefully, carving a path forward, providing life to everything it touches. Now imagine that same river without its boundaries. It spills out, flooding and destroying everything in its wake. Discipline is like those banks. It gives direction and structure to your energy, ensuring that your potential flows towards something meaningful. In today's world, where distractions are endless, discipline is more crucial than ever. We live in a time where instant gratification is just a click away. Social media, streaming platforms, fast food, all of it is designed to pull you away from your goals. It's easy to lose hours, days, even years chasing fleeting pleasures. But discipline is what cuts through the noise. It's what allows you to prioritize what truly matters over what feels good in the moment. People often think discipline means deprivation or harshness, but in truth, discipline is one of the greatest forms of self-love. When you practice discipline, you're telling yourself, I believe in my potential. I believe I'm worth the effort. It's a way of respecting your future self, of giving them the gift of a life well lived. It's knowing that the choices you make today will determine the quality of your tomorrow. Discipline also brings clarity. When you commit to a disciplined life, you start to see what's essential and what's not. You learn to focus your energy on what aligns with your purpose. This clarity simplifies life. You stop wasting time on things that don't serve you and start directing all your efforts toward what truly matters. And this in turn creates a profound sense of freedom, the freedom to live a life that's aligned with your values. It's important to remember that discipline isn't about perfection. You will have days when you falter, and that's okay. What matters is your willingness to start again, to keep moving forward. Every small act of discipline is a step closer to freedom. It's waking up and choosing to write one page of that book, to take one more step on the treadmill, or to invest one more dollar in your future. These small, consistent actions build momentum, and over time they transform your life. Ultimately, discipline is about taking control. It's reclaiming your time, your energy, and your focus from the distractions and excuses that hold you back. It's about becoming the driver of your own life, rather than a passenger swept along by circumstances. When you embrace discipline, you take ownership of your choices. And when you take ownership, you create a life that feels deeply free, not because everything is easy, but because you've mastered the art of aligning your actions with your aspirations. So choose discipline not as a restriction, but as a pathway. Recognize it as the bridge that carries you from where you are to where you want to be. Because the truth is, the most fulfilling kind of freedom isn't found in avoiding effort or responsibility. It's found in the confidence that comes from knowing you are in control of your life, your goals, and your destiny. That's the power of discipline. It's not the enemy of freedom, it's the essence of it. Daily habits shape your destiny. Your life is a reflection of the habits you practice daily. Each action, no matter how small, is a step on the path toward the person you are becoming. Habits are the building blocks of your future, shaping not just your days but your destiny. Success doesn't come from occasional bursts of inspiration or one-off grand efforts. It comes from the quiet, consistent routines that define how you spend your time. Think about this. Every small action you take is like planting a seed. Some seeds grow into flourishing trees, providing shade and bearing fruit. Others may sprout weeds, overtaking the garden and crowding out the space for growth. The habits you choose to nurture are the seeds of your future. Over time, they form patterns, and these patterns determine the course of your life. The power of daily habits lies in their compounding effect. A single healthy meal won't change your life, but consistently eating mindfully over months and years can transform your body and energy. Similarly, reading for 20 minutes a day might seem insignificant, but over time it expands your knowledge and perspective in ways you can't immediately see. Habits work quietly, almost invisibly in the background of your life, yet their impact is profound. What makes habits so powerful is their ability to automate success. When something becomes a habit, it no longer requires intense mental effort or motivation to accomplish. For instance, brushing your teeth is a habit. You don't need to debate whether or not to do it, you just do. Imagine applying that same effortless consistency to working out, saving money, or practicing gratitude. When your positive actions become automatic, success becomes inevitable. It's important to understand that habits are neutral. They aren't inherently good or bad. They simply reflect what you repeatedly do. This means you have the power to choose which habits will serve you and which ones won't. A habit of procrastinating, for example, can derail your progress, while a habit of prioritizing your tasks can accelerate it. The key is to be intentional about your habits, aligning them with your long-term goals and values. Creating meaningful habits begins with small, manageable actions. The mistake many people make is trying to overhaul their entire lives overnight, only to become overwhelmed and give up. True transformation doesn't come from giant leaps, it comes from steady, incremental progress. Start small, commit to just one push-up a day, one glass of water, or 5 minutes of journaling. These tiny actions may feel insignificant, but they are the foundation upon which lasting habits are built. What's remarkable about habits is their ripple effect. A single positive habit often triggers a chain reaction, leading to improvements in multiple areas of your life. For example, committing to a morning walk might boost your energy levels, improve your mood, and inspire healthier food choices throughout the day. Similarly, setting aside time for gratitude can enhance your perspective, relationships, and overall well-being. One small change can create a wave of transformation. Equally important is the awareness that your habits are not set in stone. You have the power to change them anytime. If a habit isn't serving you, recognize it and take steps to replace it with one that aligns with your goals. The process of breaking old habits and forming new ones requires patience, but it's always within your reach. Every day is an opportunity to choose differently, to plant seeds that will grow into the future you desire. Consistency is the cornerstone of habit formation. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. There will be days when you falter, and that's okay. What matters is your commitment to return to the habit, to pick up where you left off and keep moving forward. Over time, your efforts will compound, and the results will become undeniable. Ultimately, your destiny isn't determined by a single moment or decision. It's shaped by the small, daily choices you make, repeated over time. Habits are the invisible architects of your life, constructing the foundation for success, happiness, and fulfillment. When you align your daily actions with your values and goals, you create a life that reflects your highest potential. So start today. Choose one habit that brings you closer to the person you want to be and commit to it. Because your habits don't just shape your days, they shape your future. It's discipline over motivation. Motivation is a wonderful feeling. It's that spark of inspiration that ignites a desire to take action, to dream big, and to strive for something greater. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather, unpredictable and unreliable. One day you might wake up brimming with energy and determination, ready to tackle your goals. The next you might feel unmotivated, tired, or distracted. This is where discipline steps in, a steady force that carries you forward even when motivation has disappeared. Discipline is the quiet, unwavering commitment to your goals and values, regardless of how you feel in the moment. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, not because it's easy or exciting, but because it aligns with your purpose. While motivation might get you started, discipline ensures you keep going. It's the backbone of success, the fuel that powers consistent progress. Relying solely on motivation is like waiting for a gust of wind to propel your boat. Sometimes the wind will come and your journey will feel effortless. But other times the air will be still, and if you don't have discipline, you'll remain stuck in the same place. Discipline, on the other hand, is like learning to row. It's harder, yes, but it gives you control over your progress. With discipline, you don't have to wait for the wind, you create your own momentum. The truth is, there will be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort, days when the initial excitement is worn off, and the work feels mundane or challenging. This is where most people falter, giving up when motivation fades. But those who succeed understand that discipline is what bridges the gap between their current reality and their future goals. They don't wait to feel inspired, they act regardless of how they feel. Discipline is built through practice and consistency. It's like a muscle that strengthens over time. Every time you choose to follow through on a commitment, even when it's hard, you reinforce your discipline. For example, showing up for your workout when you'd rather sleep in, or sticking to your study schedule when you're tempted by distractions. These small acts of discipline accumulate, creating a sense of trust in yourself. You begin to see yourself as someone who follows through, and that identity becomes a powerful motivator in itself. One of the key reasons discipline outshines motivation is its reliability. Motivation is emotional, it depends on how you feel in the moment. Discipline, however, is logical and action-oriented. It removes emotion from the equation and focuses on what needs to be done. This mindset allows you to push through resistance and overcome obstacles, even when circumstances aren't ideal. Discipline also fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. Motivation can falter in the face of setbacks, but discipline equips you to keep moving forward. It teaches you to persevere, to adapt, and to maintain focus on your goals, no matter what life throws your way. With discipline, you become more than someone who simply reacts to external circumstances. You become someone who creates your own outcomes. It's important to note that discipline doesn't mean suppressing your emotions or ignoring your needs. It's not about being rigid or inflexible. Rather, it's about striking a balance, acknowledging your feelings but not letting them dictate your actions. It's about honoring your long-term goals over temporary comforts, knowing that the rewards of discipline far outweigh the fleeting satisfaction of giving in to resistance. Building discipline requires self-awareness and a clear sense of purpose. When you know why you're working toward a goal, it becomes easier to stay committed. Your why becomes your anchor, grounding you during moments of doubt or fatigue. Whether it's improving your health, achieving financial independence, or pursuing a passion, your deeper purpose gives meaning to your efforts and reinforces your discipline. Ultimately, discipline is freedom. It frees you from the limitations of waiting for the perfect moment or the right mood. It empowers you to take control of your actions and, by extension, your life. While motivation is a spark, discipline is the engine that drives you toward your dreams. It's not about feeling ready, it's about being ready to act, no matter what. And when you prioritize discipline over motivation, you unlock the power to achieve anything you set your mind to. Embrace short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. Every worthwhile goal comes with a price. The road to success, fulfillment, and growth is paved with sacrifices, small, intentional choices that may feel inconvenient in the moment but pave the way for immense rewards in the future. The truth is, we cannot have it all at once. To achieve something meaningful, we must be willing to give up certain comforts, distractions, and instant gratifications in the short term. These sacrifices are not losses but investments in a better, brighter future. In a world where instant gratification is at our fingertips, the idea of delayed gratification can seem foreign. We live in an age of one-click purchases, on-demand entertainment, and immediate responses. It's tempting to choose what feels good now, to indulge in the convenience and pleasure of the present. But true success, the kind that is sustainable and deeply fulfilling, requires thinking beyond the now. It asks us to shift our focus from what we want today to what we want most. Consider this: every time you say yes to a short-term pleasure, you are saying no to something in the future. When you spend hours scrolling through social media, you're saying no to the progress you could have made on your goals. When you choose unhealthy eating habits for the sake of convenience, you're saying no to the long-term health and energy you desire. These small decisions add up over time, creating a life that reflects the priorities you've chosen. But here's the empowering part: you have the power to reverse this dynamic. By embracing short-term sacrifices, you're not just giving something up, you're making room for something far greater. When you choose to wake up early to exercise instead of sleeping in, you're investing in a stronger, healthier body. When you dedicate time to learning a new skill instead of watching TV, you're building a future where that skill might open doors you never imagined. The sacrifices you make today become the stepping stones to the life you truly want. The beauty of short-term sacrifices is that they often bring clarity and focus. When you let go of distractions and temporary comforts, you create space for what truly matters. You begin to see the bigger picture, to align your daily actions with your long-term vision. This alignment not only propels you toward your goals, but also instills a sense of purpose and fulfillment. It reminds you why you started, keeping you motivated even when the sacrifices feel challenging. Of course, sacrifices are not always easy. They require discipline, patience, and a deep understanding of your why. It's normal to feel resistance, to want to hold on to the comforts and routines you're used to. But every time you push through that resistance, you strengthen your resolve. You prove to yourself that you're capable of prioritizing your future self over the fleeting desires of the present. And with each sacrifice, you build a sense of momentum and confidence that fuels further progress. One of the most powerful aspects of embracing sacrifices is the compound effect. Small, consistent sacrifices add up over time, creating exponential results. Saving a little money each month might seem insignificant at first, but over years it can lead to financial freedom. Spending 30 minutes a day honing a skill might feel slow, but over time it can make you an expert in your field. The rewards of these sacrifices are not always immediate, but they are always worth it. It's also important to recognize that sacrifices are not about deprivation or misery. They are about making conscious choices to prioritize what truly matters. It's about trading something of lesser value for something of far greater value. When you frame sacrifices as acts of self-care and commitment to your dreams, they stop feeling like burdens and start feeling like gifts you're giving to yourself. Ultimately, success is not about luck or talent, it's about choices. The willingness to make short-term sacrifices is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's about understanding that the discomfort of sacrifice is temporary, but the rewards are lasting. So when you're faced with the choice between what feels good now and what will feel incredible later, choose the latter. Choose to embrace the short-term sacrifices that lead to long-term gains, knowing that every step you take is bringing you closer to the life you've always wanted. And mindset matters. Everything you achieve in life begins in your mind. Your mindset is the lens through which you view the world, yourself, and your potential. It shapes your thoughts, fuels your actions, and determines your ability to navigate challenges. When it comes to discipline, mindset is not just important, it is foundational. Without the right mindset, even the most well-laid plans will falter. With the right mindset, however, you can overcome obstacles, build resilience, and stay aligned with your goals, no matter the circumstances. Discipline is often misunderstood as a battle of willpower alone, but in reality it starts with how you think. Your thoughts create your beliefs, and your beliefs drive your behaviors. If you believe that discipline is a punishment or a sign of deprivation, you'll resist it. But if you view discipline as an act of self-respect and empowerment, you'll embrace it with open arms. This is why mindset matters, because the way you perceive discipline directly influences your ability to practice it. One of the most critical shifts in mindset is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset convinces you that your abilities and traits are set in stone, leading to fear of failure and avoidance of challenges. A growth mindset, on the other hand, sees every challenge as an opportunity to learn and grow. When you adopt a growth mindset, discipline becomes less about perfection and more about progress. You understand that setbacks are not signs of inadequacy, but stepping stones toward improvement. This perspective empowers you to keep going, even when the journey feels tough. Another essential aspect of mindset is self-awareness. To cultivate discipline, you must first understand your patterns, triggers, and habits. What distracts you? What motivates you? What excuses do you tell yourself? By becoming aware of these mental processes, you can start to take control of them. Self-awareness allows you to recognize when your mindset is working against you and gives you the power to reframe your thoughts. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm too tired to work out," you can shift to, "I'll feel energized and accomplished after I work out." Gratitude is another mindset tool that fuels discipline. When you approach life with gratitude, you focus on what you have rather than what you lack. This shift in perspective makes it easier to stay committed to your goals. For instance, instead of viewing meal prepping as a chore, you can see it as a privilege, a chance to take care of your body and nourish your health. Gratitude helps you find joy in the process rather than constantly seeking the outcome, which is a powerful motivator for sustaining discipline. Visualization is also a powerful mindset technique. When you consistently picture yourself succeeding, your brain begins to believe in that possibility. This belief translates into action as your mind works to align your reality with your vision. Visualization isn't about daydreaming, it's about mentally rehearsing your goals and the disciplined actions required to achieve them. By imagining yourself making disciplined choices and experiencing the results, you create a mental blueprint that guides your behavior in the real world. Mindset also involves developing resilience in the face of setbacks. Discipline doesn't mean you'll never falter, it means you have the mental strength to get back on track when you do. A resilient mindset sees failure not as an endpoint but as a lesson. Each time you stumble, you gain valuable insights about what works and what doesn't. This ability to bounce back is rooted in a mindset that values growth over perfection and persistence over immediate success. Perhaps the most important aspect of mindset is the belief in your own ability to change. Many people struggle with discipline because they doubt their own potential. They tell themselves, "I'm just not disciplined," or "I've never been able to stick to anything." These limiting beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies. But when you shift your mindset to one of self-compassion and possibility, everything changes. You realize that discipline isn't an inherent trait, it's a skill you can develop through practice and patience. Finally, mindset matters because it defines your relationship with discomfort. Discipline often requires doing things that are uncomfortable, whether it's waking up early, saying no to distractions, or pushing through challenges. Your mindset determines whether you see discomfort as something to avoid or as a sign of growth. When you embrace discomfort as a natural part of the process, you stop resisting it. Instead, you welcome it as evidence that you're moving closer to your goals. In the end, mindset is the foundation upon which discipline is built. It's not about forcing yourself to act, but about training your mind to align with your values and aspirations. When you cultivate a mindset that prioritizes growth, resilience, and self-belief, discipline becomes less of a struggle and more of a natural extension of who you are. It's a reminder that every disciplined choice begins in your mind, and by mastering your mindset, you unlock your full potential. Consistency is the key to transformation. Consistency is the invisible force that drives transformation. It's not the big dramatic actions that create lasting change, but the small, steady efforts repeated over time. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because its effects aren't immediately visible. Yet, it is the secret behind every great achievement, every skill mastered, and every dream realized. Without consistency, even the best intentions will falter, and the grandest plans will remain unrealized. At its core, consistency is about showing up day in and day out, regardless of how you feel, what obstacles arise, or how far the finish line appears. It's the willingness to commit to your goals, not just when it's convenient or exciting, but especially when it's challenging and mundane. This steadfast dedication is what separates those who succeed from those who merely dream. Consistency transforms your efforts into habits, and habits into results. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. The power of consistency lies in its compounding effect. Think of it as planting seeds. If you water a seed occasionally and neglect it most days, it won't grow. But if you nurture it daily, even with just a little water and sunlight, it will eventually sprout, thrive, and bear fruit. Similarly, small, consistent actions in any area of life, whether it's fitness, relationships, learning, or career, build momentum over time, leading to exponential growth. It's not the size of your effort that matters, but the regularity with which you apply it. Consistency requires patience because progress is often slow and incremental. In a world that celebrates quick wins and instant gratification, it can be frustrating to stick with something when the results aren't immediately visible. But transformation is rarely linear. It's a process of small, seemingly insignificant steps that, when compounded, create significant change. For instance, writing a single page each day might feel unremarkable, but over a year it can result in a completed book. Saving a small amount of money regularly might not seem impactful initially, but over time it can lead to financial freedom. One of the biggest barriers to consistency is the expectation of instant results. Many people give up on their goals because they don't see immediate progress. They start a new fitness routine, and when the scale doesn't budge after a week, they quit. They begin learning a new skill but abandon it when mastery doesn't come quickly. This mindset undermines the power of consistency. The truth is, progress often happens beneath the surface, like roots growing underground before a plant breaks through the soil. Trust the process, and the results will come. Another challenge to consistency is perfectionism. People often think they must get everything right all the time to make progress. But the reality is, consistency is not about never making mistakes, it's about not letting mistakes derail you. Missing one day, one workout, or one opportunity doesn't undo your efforts. What matters is that you return to your commitment and keep moving forward. Progress is not lost through occasional missteps, but through giving up entirely. To cultivate consistency, it's crucial to focus on the process rather than the outcome. When you become too fixated on the end goal, it's easy to become discouraged by how far away it seems. Instead, break your goal into manageable steps and celebrate small victories along the way. Each action, no matter how minor, is a building block of your success. By focusing on what you can do today, you stay present and engaged in the journey. Consistency also thrives on simplicity. Overcomplicating your routines or setting overly ambitious targets can lead to burnout and inconsistency. Start small and build gradually. For example, if your goal is to exercise regularly, begin with just 10 minutes a day. If you want to read more, commit to a few pages each night. Small, manageable actions are easier to sustain and create a foundation for larger efforts as your confidence and capacity grow. Accountability can also strengthen consistency. Share your goals with someone you trust or track your progress through journaling or apps. When you hold yourself accountable, you're less likely to stray from your commitments. However, remember that the most important accountability is to yourself. Each time you follow through on a promise to yourself, you build trust in your ability to stay consistent, which reinforces the habit. Ultimately, consistency is about creating a rhythm in your life, a steady, deliberate cadence that propels you toward your aspirations. It's the daily act of choosing your future self over momentary comfort, of showing up even when it's hard, and of trusting that your efforts will pay off. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with consistency it becomes inevitable. By embracing this principle, you unlock the power to achieve anything you set your mind to, one step at a time. Discipline is the cornerstone of every great achievement, the silent force that turns dreams into reality. It requires the courage to embrace discomfort, the strength to stay consistent, and the wisdom to prioritize long-term gains over fleeting pleasures. While motivation may light the initial spark, it is discipline that keeps the flame burning when the excitement fades. It demands a mindset that values growth, self-awareness, and resilience, a mindset that sees challenges as opportunities and setbacks as stepping stones. True discipline is not about deprivation or rigidity, but about choosing to honor your future self through intentional actions today. It's the daily commitment to show up, to take responsibility, and to stay aligned with your values and aspirations. It's about recognizing that success is not built on monumental leaps, but on small, consistent steps that compound over time. Every choice you make, every sacrifice you embrace, and every moment of persistence strengthens the foundation of the life you want to create. In the end, discipline is an act of self-love. It is the highest form of respect you can show yourself and your dreams. It's a reminder that you are capable of growth, transformation, and greatness. So commit to the journey with unwavering faith. Let discipline be your guide and watch as it unlocks the limitless potential within you. The path may not always be easy, but the rewards will always be worth it. Discipline means no excuses. It's about taking full responsibility for your actions, your decisions, and your results no matter what. There will always be challenges, distractions, and obstacles trying to pull you off course. Life doesn't stop to give you the perfect moment to start. There will always be a reason to delay, to procrastinate, or to quit. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is the refusal to make excuses. Excuses are the mind's way of keeping you safe, of justifying why you didn't do what you said you would. They're the stories we tell ourselves to avoid discomfort, to protect ourselves from the fear of failure or judgment. But success doesn't care about excuses. Your goals won't wait for your excuses to disappear. Time doesn't stop for you to feel ready. If you want to achieve something great, you have to move forward in spite of the fear, the doubts, and the distractions. Discipline doesn't tolerate excuses. It asks only for commitment, consistency, and courage. It's the unwavering belief that you are the architect of your own life. When excuses arise, you recognize them for what they are: temporary roadblocks, not permanent barriers. And with discipline, you push through them. You take action, even when it feels uncomfortable. You choose to work when motivation fades, and you keep your promises to yourself, no matter how difficult the road may seem. There will always be a reason to quit, but there will also always be a reason to keep going. Choose the latter. Because when you make discipline your way of life, when you stop making excuses and start taking ownership, nothing can stand in your way. Your future self will thank you for it. The success you're chasing is only a reflection of the choices you make today. So no excuses, just action, perseverance, and the unwavering belief that you are capable of more than you've ever imagined.